when we perform statistical analysis, we look at our information in terms of variables. We always need the information about the type of variable before performing statistical analyses. Along with that, another very important information that's required is at what measurement scale we have observed our variable. First of all, we want to know what does it mean by measurement. Measurement is defined as assignment of numbers to the objects or events according to a set of rules. The set of rules is a very significant part of this definition. These rules are used to categorize or to quantify our variables. There are 4 different scales of measurement depending upon the type of variable. It could be nominal, it could be ordinal, it could be ratio, it could be interval. Keeping in mind, nominal and ordinal measurement scales are for qualitative variables, for categorical variables, whereas ratio and interval measures are for quantitative variables. All these 4 scales should follow one or more of the 4 properties of measurement. The first property of measurement is identity. That each and every individual value is unique and it has a meaning behind it. And that meaning is a unique meaning. The second property is magnitude. That values have ordered relationship to one another. Like when we say the relationship between a numeric value 2 and 1, then we already know that 2 is greater than 1. Or 1 is lesser than 2. So the numeric value that's been assigned carries some measurement magnitude. Then there is equal interval. That units along the scale are equal to one another. Like if we move from 2 to 4 and 4 to 6. There are 2 intervals. The first interval is 2 to 4, which is of 2 units. And the other interval is 4 to 6, which again are 2 units. This interval should be the same when we talk about equal intervals. And the fourth property is a minimum value of 0. 0 plays a very important role in making a measurement. That 0 has some significant meaning. And below 0, there is nothing. No value occurs below it. The first type of measurement scale that is inherently for qualitative variables is a nominal scale of measurement. Nominal scale of measurement, as by its name, it is name only. These are just the labels. As we already know that qualitative variables carries certain categories. Each category can be assigned with some numeric number. That number does not contain any magnitude. These are just the names. Like in a football team. You will see different players are assigned different numbers. These numbers do not refer towards the performance or the ranking of a player. These are just the names. If this is a situation, a variable is called a nominal scale variable. For a nominal scale variable, each category is mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. That 1 is a unique number, 2 is a unique number. And they cannot mix and match. Similar way, they do not have any ordering in the values, since these are just the names. And they only satisfies the first property of measurement, that is identity. Nominal variable have just few descriptive categories that do not reflect any amount attached to it. And these are, there is no inherent value with respect to its magnitude. Let's take a few examples. Like gender. We classify gender as male and female. This is a nominal variable where we assign number 1 for a male and number 2 for a female. 1 does not mean that male are inferior to females, but 1 and 2 only represents the names, the categories. Similarly, in the form of fruits, apple gets a number 1, orange 2, and tomato 3. 1, 2, and 3 are just assigned values which are just represents the type of fruit. So if we are performing an analysis and we get a type of fruit and we see 3 written there, it definitely means we are referring towards tomato. This doesn't have any ranking criteria or order in the values. Color of eye. It could be blue, which can be represented as 1, green, red, or hazel. These could be assigned any number along with them. But these numbers, again, do not represent any magnitude of information. The other type of variables are ordinal scale. Ordinal scale does classify our variable into categories. And these categories are also mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Inherently, ordinal variables carries the characteristics of nominal scale variables. But the difference between nominal scale and ordinal scale is that in ordinal scale, our categories have certain order. These can be ranked. Therefore, they carries some magnitude, and they satisfies 2 properties of measurement, its identity and magnitude of our variable. When magnitude between 2 categories, that does not necessarily have to be equal. Similar way, these numbers which are assigned have certain meaningful order. And each individual category has a unique meaning and magnitude, and which is represented by its rank. Few examples of ordinal scale are height of different family members from shorter to taller, where a son is the shortest and the father in a family is the tallest. Similarly, stages of cancer, that when it's a stage 0, it is early form, stage 1 is localized, stage 2 is early locally advanced, stage 3 late locally advanced, and stage 4 metastatized. Giving stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4 definitely tells us the risk that's involved. But here, between these categories, we can't say that the distance between stage 1 and stage 2 is the same as stage 2 and stage 3. That could be different. This is just an order. But order does not contain any significant weightage. The third scale of measurement is interval scale. The interval scale, unlike nominal and ordinal scale, is truly a quantitative scale. Interval scale variables inherit the qualities of nominal and ordinal scale, and moreover, they satisfy the third property of measurement, which is equal intervals. Interval scale variable has arbitrary 0 point. That whenever a value turns out to be 0, it doesn't mean the usual way we take 0 value, like in temperature. When the temperature is 0, it does not mean that heat has vanished. Heat is still there, but we can't feel it. Similarly, IQ. When IQ level of a person is 0, it doesn't mean the person doesn't have a brain or doesn't have a capacity to think. Sometimes the attitude scale is also considered as interval scale.